I think it's pronounced Crew 90.
What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy Johnny, aka Crew 90, and I'm kind of having a little bit of a moral dilemma right now. One of those situations with the angel and the devil on your shoulders, and I'm gonna need your help getting me through this. So here's what's going on. I'm at work on Friday. I normally work the overnight shift. I get out of work around 9 in the morning because I go in so early. So it's about 10 minutes I'm supposed to get off. The phone rings. I answer it. I'm in a good mood. I'm almost out of work. And I'm like, hi, thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. This is Johnny. How can I help you? And on the other end of the phone is what appears to be, well, it sounds like an elderly woman. So she just immediately goes right into this rave about this exciting product that we sell. It's a programmable vase. Now, I have no idea what she's talking about. I've never seen this vase. I've never heard about it. I do not know that we sell it. This is the first time I've ever heard mention of it, but she's not asking me any questions about it. Instead, she's just going on and on and on about how awesome of a product it is. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I just sit there on the phone with her, and I'm basically just yesing her for like 5 solid minutes. Just, yeah, wow. Yep, you're right. Yeah, I know, it's really cool, right? And she's just going on about how cheap it is, how it's such a great idea, how it's got so many uses. Well, I start zoning out, and after about 5 or 6 seconds, I realize that she hasn't said anything, and I'm like, oh crap, I think she just asked me a question. So I play that off real good. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, the phone just cut out. What was it that you said? And she's like, I was just asking if it is only programmable with the pre-programmed messages, or if you can put your own custom message onto it as well. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go find out. I put her on hold. I run up. I assume it's in the floral department. It was a good guess. I found it almost immediately. I bring it back. I'm actually reading the box as I'm walking back to her, and I have to say, it actually is a pretty cool product. So I picked the phone back up and I explained to her that actually both of those options are correct. You can program it through any of the 10 pre-programmed messages. You just cycle through them with a button right on the base of the vase. Or if you connect it to an app on your smartphone, then you can set whatever message you want directly onto the vase. So she's quiet for a couple seconds, and then she says, what's an app? And now I'm quiet for a couple seconds because I don't think I've met anybody in this last decade who didn't know what an app was. But in the best way that I can explain it, I explain what an app is. And of course, that involves the usage of the phrase smartphone. And then she asks me, what's a smartphone? So I'm like, ma'am, probably I'm willing to bet 99% likely the phone you're currently talking into is a smartphone. So she tells me that the phone that she's talking into is a corded phone attached to a wall in her house. So I'm like, yep, you know what? Actually, it's probably not a smartphone. And so we start going through the list. Does she have like any kids, any grandkids, anybody in her immediate vicinity that might have a smartphone that would let her use it for this vase? She's like, no, no, I don't. And she starts sounding really sad. And it wasn't just her sounding sad so much as the stark difference between how happy she had been at the start of the call to how sad she was now. But it got me. And I was like, okay, how can I help make this right? So I asked the lady, I said, ma'am, when are you trying to pick this vase up? And she's like, well, today's Friday. I don't think I'll be able to get to your store on Saturday, but the funeral is Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. So I'll probably just pick it up either sometime late tonight or really, really early Sunday morning. So I'm like, okay. Well, what I'll do is I will download the app to my phone. I will set the message up onto the vase for you, and then I will leave it here. And if you come and get it tonight, then it'll be in the office and you'll be able to just buy it and it'll be pre-programmed, ready to go. And she's like, really, you would do that for me? And I was like, absolutely. So I just trying to get the message for the vase out of her. I'm like, what do you want the vase to say? And she just starts giving me this whole backstory. And she's like, well, you see, it's my stepmother who passed away. And I'm like, oh, I'm very sorry for your loss. She goes, oh, no, don't worry about it. I never really liked her. And she's like, but I was very, very close to my stepsister. And of course, my stepsister is devastated because that was her mother. So I want the vase to say, let's not use the woman's real name. So we'll call her Smudge. So she's like, I want the vase to say, dearest Smudge, my sympathies on the loss of your mother. So I'm like, all right, dearest Smudge, my sympathies on the loss of your mother. And I said, I'm not sure how long of a message I can program onto this vase, but if I can put all that on there, I will. Otherwise, we'll just say, my dearest Smudge, my sympathies. And she's like, yeah, whatever. We hang up. I go into the office. I sit down. I start programming this vase. I'm actually really impressed at the way that it works. So as it turns out, you download the app to your phone, and then you use the Bluetooth on your phone, and the vase actually generates its own Wi-Fi, and you can connect to the Wi-Fi through your Bluetooth, and then you can pair the phone. And once you're pairing, you can put whatever message you want in there and update it to the vase. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. All right, whatever. So for $14.99, this is actually a pretty decent thing. So I managed to get the whole message on there. Dearest Smudge, my sympathies for your loss, for the loss of your mother. And I get it on there, and I package it up, put it away, and then I leave. When I come into work yesterday, first thing I did was I went and looked in the office to see if the vase was still there, because I was wondering if she had come or not, and it's gone. So I'm like, perfect. I go find my boss. I'm like, hey, did that lady come and get her vase? And he's like, yes, she did. She was very pleased with it. It's great. Vase is out of my mind at this point. I'm not even thinking about it. So I go through the rest of the day. Doesn't even cross my mind. Now it's today, Sunday, the day of the funeral. I'm off today. So I wake up and I'm just playing on my phone, and I happen to see that app. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I could probably delete this at this point. So I go to delete it, and for whatever reason, before deleting it, I just click on it and open it up, and I'm greeted with a map. And I can see a little blue ping of like where I currently am located. And I'm like, why is there a map on this app? And then underneath it, I see Smudge's vase, which is what I named the vase, because you have to name the vase before you can link to it. And so I click on Smudge's vase, and it zooms me out and then zooms me into a little red dot, which is actively moving. And I realize, holy crap, I'm somehow able to see the current live location of this vase. And it's moving, and based on the time, I think it's on its way to the funeral. Like right now, they're probably on their way to the funeral home, and they're going. And so I'm watching this vase, and I'm like, well, what else can I do? So I start looking at all the options, and I can update the speed of the display, the brightness of the display, and most importantly, I can update the message, even though I'm not even in the same city as this vase anymore. This vase is like I think it was 19 miles away. I can change the message on the vase. And then the angel and the devil pops up. So part of me is like, do the right thing, delete the app, and just be done with it. The other part of me is like, oh, this is perfect. So, thoughts. I wait until I see the vase stop at the funeral home. I know it's at the funeral home because I can zoom in on the map and see where it's located, and I'll see it's at a funeral home. Give it a good, 40 minutes to make sure the funeral is in full swing. I'm sure the vase will be sitting up in front of everybody, and then just kind of change it to say, oh, I don't think I told you. I was also informed that the mother apparently lived to be 89 years old, which is very impressive. But I only know this information because the lady on the phone told me. So wait until it stops at the funeral home, give it a good 40 minutes so the funeral's in full procession, and then say, change the vase so it starts reading across the vase. 89 years, and this is the funeral you throw for me? Or something like that. Wow, 89 years on this earth, and this is how you send me off? I can just imagine the first person to notice that message going across the vase. And let me tell you, this vase, if the vase is this big, like this much of it is the LED screen that has the words going across it. And especially, it will be noticed because I can set it to flash. It will get everybody's attention. And all of a sudden, from beyond the grave, Smudge's mother will be reading out 89 years, and this is the send away I get. So that's my one option. My other option is to just continue monitoring the vase, wait till it gets to its next location, which I could only assume would be Smudge's house. Wait until tonight when it's definitely dark. The vase is probably sitting on the counter or something. Then change it then to be something like, Smudge, I took this to the grave with me, but the money is located. And then just don't put anything else after it. Or Smudge, I didn't get a chance to tell you before I passed, but, and then nothing else, and just leave it. And this message will just scroll. I can see Smudge torn between A, being freaked out, B, being like petrified. Like, this vase is my mother talking to me, but also being very, very confused and like, what is it? What are you trying to tell me? Where is the money? Guys, this is horrible. I shouldn't have this much power. I need to delete this app. But I don't have the willpower to do it. So I need you guys to either pull me away from the edge or push me right over. I don't know what to do, but the funeral, I'm going to say, is probably in the next hour or so. So we need to figure it out pretty quickly. So Smudge, I'm sorry for the loss of your mother, but this vase has opened up some new doors for me. So guys, as always, thank you for watching. It's your boy Johnny Crew 90, and I'll catch you next time.